Hey guys, it's Miss Grier here with a little bit about soil. What is soil? Soil is the top layer of the Earth's surface. It's kind of like the frosting on a birthday cake. It's the stuff you play on in your backyard. Your grass grows on it. You might even call it dirt instead of soil, which is what most people do. Soil is made from rocks that are broken into tiny pieces, as well as dead leaves, roots, twigs, dead bugs, and more stuff like that. It also has water and air in it. There are three major components in soil. Once you step out onto a piece of ground, you're actually stepping onto something that's alive. Soil is not just a piece of dirt. Soil is made up of living and non-living material, spread very thin over the entire surface of the planet. There are three major components. You have rock, humus, and space. The rock component. Soil is a combination of materials. One part of soil is rock that has been broken down over time by wind, water, and chemical processes. The next component is humus. Dead animals and plants decay and break down into tiny pieces. These rotted plants and animals make a part of the soil called humus. Humus is very dark brown, and it crumbles when you touch it. Humus mixes with tiny rocks, air, and water to form soil. Space. Soil has spaces in it. These spaces are filled with water and air. Water and air are the other ingredients in soil. In a good garden soil, you have about 45% rock particles, 5% of that organic material like leaves or, the humus, 25% water, and 25% air. Nutrients from the soil. Most living things need three basic things to survive: food, water, and air. Plants get their nutrients and water from the soil. Although all green plants make their own food by a process called photosynthesis, they also can get the nutrients they need from the soil. These dissolve in water and are taken up by the roots of the plants. The most important nutrients that plants get from soil are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen helps the above ground leafy growth and gives the dark color to our leaves. Phosphorus encourages plant cell division. Without phosphorus, flowers and seeds cannot form. Phosphorus also helps roots grow and protects the plant from disease. Potassium. Like phosphorus, potassium increases the plant's resistance to disease and encourages root growth. Potassium is also needed for making chlorophyll, which is required as part of that photosynthesis process. Soil texture and structure. Soil can have many different textures and structures. Texture means the size of the individual bits or minerals that make up the soil, and structure is how those individual bits of minerals kind of join together to form larger clumps of soil. If soil feels gritty, it means it has a lot of sand in it. If it feels smooth, it means it has a lot of silt or those medium-sized soil particles in it. And if it feels sticky, it has lots of clay in it, which is a lot of what we have around here is the clay soil. Soil types. People describe soil types in all kinds of ways, such as heavy, light, sandy, clay, loam, poor, or good. Soil scientists describe soil types by how much sand, silt, clay are present within the soil. This is called the texture. It's possible to change the texture by adding different things into your soil. Sand. Sand is the largest particle in the soil. When you rub it, it feels really rough. This is because it has sharp edges. Sand doesn't hold many nutrients. Sandy soil is loose and does not hold water well. Most plants don't really grow in this soil. Silt. Silt is a soil particle whose size is somewhere between sand and clay. It's that medium size. Silt feels smooth and powdery. When it's wet, it feels really smooth, but not sticky like clay. Soil with silt in it holds water well, but this kind of soil can be blown away easily by the wind. Clay. Clay is the smallest of particles. Clay is smooth when it's dry and it's sticky when it's wet. Soil high in clay content are called heavy soils. Clay can also hold tons of nutrients, but it doesn't let that air and water through very well. The grains are so small and tightly packed that plants do not grow well in this type of soil. Loam. Loam is a mixture of the sand, clay, and silt. Loam contains humus and is very useful to gardeners. It holds water and has nutrients that plants need. So loam tends to be what you use when you plant gardens. So after looking at all the different soil types, I have found an experiment that you can try at home to identify the soil type that you may have in your yard. So what you do is you get a glass jar that has a lid, and if you're able to fill the glass jar about halfway with your soil sample, and then you just fill up the rest with some water, and you just leave just a little bit of air. You put the lid in and you shake the jar up until all the soil clumps have broken and so it's not clumpy anymore. And you set the jar aside to rest and kind of let it sit overnight. After 24 hours, your jar contents have settled into their distinctive layers. So after this process, it lets you see each layer of the soil. And then you're able to see kind of, what percent of clay you have, silt you have, and sand you have. And the sand will, sink to the bottom of your jar, where silt will be in the middle and clay will be at the top, based on those particle sizes and how heavy the soil is. So I hope that you have enjoyed learning about soil, and I would love to see your samples from your backyard if you would like to upload those. So see you next time. Bye.